Welcome to day 470 of our DeSo journey. I'm Ed Krasenstein, here with my twin brother Brian. And remember, these videos are being sponsored by NFT Tech. They are an investor in DeSoFi. So the crypto markets, they've been kind of stalled, I guess you could say, with Bitcoin hanging out between 20,000 and 22,000 over the past 2 to 3 days. I think this is a good sign so far. It's been holding above the $20,000 mark. You know, I think yesterday we actually had a good jobs report that was released, and I think that's kind of hurt the crypto space and the stock market slightly, because a good jobs report means that the economy is still going strong enough for the Fed to probably increase rates even more. So I think it's kind of funny we're looking at positive market numbers that are hurting the market.
Yeah. Yeah, it really is. But I mean, that's the kind of the environment we've been in for the last several years. Uh, I think that when we were getting negative news, the market was rising because people thought the Fed was going to reduce the rate back during COVID. So it's the same thing, just in reverse.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's pretty expected that this month the Fed's going to increase rates again, probably 75 basis points. Maybe if things are being curtailed, if inflation is being curtailed, maybe they only do 50 basis points. But I think the consensus is probably 75 more basis points. Those huge numbers are coming out next week, though. I believe it's Tuesday, July 13th at 8:30 p.m. I think that's Tuesday. Maybe it's Wednesday. But anyhow, July 13th, June CPI data, Consumer Price Index data, is going to be released. And this basically is a factor for showing inflation. As prices, it's going to give you the overall prices, which mean there's inflation. And this data is going to be very important, I think, both for the stock market and the crypto markets. If inflation's still rising, I think we're going to see another downturn. If inflation has peaked, and by peaked I mean in May, reported in June, inflation was at 8.6%, or CPI index rose 8.6% over the last 12 months. If this number is below 8.6%, I think it's going to be a really good sign. It's going to mean that inflation likely peaked. If it's above 8.6%, it's going to be really bad news. If we can come in well under 8.6%, I think that's going to be really good news.
Yeah. Yeah. So let's get away from the stuff that makes you all fall asleep and get to some pretty interesting news. Elon Musk has backed out of his $44 billion purchase offer of Twitter. He is still not satisfied with the data that Twitter gave him regarding bot activity. So this really opens things up. I mean, what's going to happen? Is he going to launch his own social media platform? Could he do something on a decentralized platform? We don't know. Natter kind of gave us some of his thoughts, and he said, quote, Elon buying Twitter would have been an amazing thing for the world. As sad as it is that the deal is off, it paves the way for alternate solutions like DeSo to dominate in the coming months. The problems of traditional social media will be solved one way or another. And I agree.
Yeah, I think a lot has changed since Elon made that original offer. The stock market has had a huge downturn. The crypto markets have had a huge downturn. The release of Web 5 has been, I guess, teased by Jack Dorsey. And I think maybe it made Elon rethink some of what's going on and rethink the potential of buying Twitter. Maybe some of the feedback he got from people who kind of attacked him for some of his comments about Twitter played a role. I don't know. I think Elon would be better off going the Web3 route without acquiring a Web2 company. I think if he wants to build a social media platform, he could easily do so. And I think DeSo is the perfect example of how he could do it. He could build a platform on DeSo. Instead of spending $44 billion, he could probably spend maybe $1 billion and market the heck out of it. His name itself, I think, would get people to come onto the platform. I mean,
He'd
I
have
don't think
free marketing on Twitter. He has such a large Twitter following.
exactly. Like I really think that's the way he should go. Is just build a social media platform on the DeSo blockchain. I'm sure he could have major input with DeSo. I'm sure Natter and team would love to hear his opinions and get his feedback on how things could work even better. And I think ultimately that would be the way to kind of take social media in a new direction. And I think he could potentially take a ton of traffic from Twitter by in doing so.
Yeah, and you might think, hey, Ed and I are just touting Twitter. We're obsessed. I mean, touting DeSo. We're obsessed with DeSo. Of course, we're going to say that. But really, can you think of a better solution for Elon than to create his own platform and integrate it with DeSo, either partially or completely? I think that it is the solution, and it takes the moderation aspects of the problem out of it, because even if he does decide to ban people or delete posts, it's still residing on the blockchain and others can pull it up. It's like the perfect solution.
I mean, Elon technically could start his own blockchain and have it custom built exactly the way he wants, but I think that kind of centralizes it in a way. So I think, if he can really come up with a really good idea, pick a chain to build on. I think DeSo is probably the best chain out there right now for social media. Build on DeSo, provide your feedback to the DeSo core team, to the DeSo community, and I'm sure changes would be made if you're Elon Musk.
Absolutely. So moving on, more exciting news in the NFT space this time. Reddit, they've launched a new Polygon NFT-based avatar marketplace. That's a long run on right there. But basically, Polygon NFTs are going to be able to be minted and used as an avatar within your Reddit profile. Uh, this is going to allow the purchase of blockchain-based profile pictures for a fixed rate, they say. Uh, the limited edition avatars, which purchasers can customize in the avatar builder that they're launching, are made by independent artists who've partnered with Reddit. The blockchain-backed digital items are available at the subreddit collectible avatars. So r/collectible avatars. It's interesting to see Reddit go this route finally. I'm surprised they haven't already, because their founder, Alexis Ohanian, is big into crypto and big into NFTs. So I'm happy to see this. I think it says a lot about where the NFT market will be moving in the coming months and years.
Yeah, so what I read was that, the NFTs are priced in Ethereum, but you actually can use a credit card to buy them, which is
Yeah.
interesting as well. I think that has potential to bring the
And
mainstream
they're
into
minted
the space.
on Polygon. So I mean that
Yeah,
it's
it's
like
very
covering
interesting.
all bases.
It's very interesting. Whether this catches on or not, I don't know. I don't know how much of the Reddit community is really that much into Web3, that much into NFTs, or would be open to the idea of NFTs. But it's definitely a good experiment, and it's going to, kind of take us in this new direction and test the waters when it comes to blending Web 2 with Web 3.
Absolutely.
So Clay Oglesby yesterday on DeSo posed the question, quote, when you burn a DeSo NFT, is it sent to a burn address? What actually is happening during that action? And Natter replied, and he said, quote, DeSo supports burning an NFT natively, so burning one causes all nodes to delete it from their state completely. Practically, for the user, it's not much different than sending it to a burn address, but for the chain, it's more efficient. So there you have it. That's kind of the explanation of how NFTs are burnt on the DeSo blockchain. I think it is a good way. I love the way that DeSo does it. I don't think it requires a burn address in order to burn an NFT.
Yeah, I agree. I don't have a problem with that method for sure. So I want to move on. DeSo provided an ecosystem update number 2. They've been doing a good job. This is the second one. They really give an update to the community about what's going on, and I think that from a standpoint of a DeSo user, these are important updates. They said that July may seem quiet, but you must build a launch pad first to launch a rocket into space. They're very close to MetaMask integration. They've been saying this for a few weeks now, so I think it's coming very soon. They said that the DeSo protocol library version 0.4.0 now includes server support for reading data, constructing transactions, bug fixes, and of course, MetaMask integrations. Also, wrapped USD is coming to DAO, which would allow DAOs to hold their treasury in USDC. This is big because I think a lot of people have been turned off in creating DAOs because this would make budgeting, hiring, paying out DAO contributors much easier since you can do it in USDC. The engineering team's also working, this is interesting, on bringing more tokens to DAO later this year. And Dogecoin is one of them. So that
Are
would
you
be cool.
listening, Elon Musk?
Elon, come to DeSo. Uh, Also, they gave an update on several projects. Quite significant updates. They gave one on NFTZ, the Social World, DeSo Messenger, Verified Creators, Licks, OneCloud, Name Trade, Smart Wallet, Web3 Simplified, and Sacred Skulls. Uh, I won't get into all the details on these updates, but you can actually go to the post, which is linked below, to read all about them.
Yeah, I love what they're all doing. I think I think it's important to provide these updates to the community so they know what is going on within the individual node. So great job, DeSo. I can't wait to see update number 3. So DeSoFi presented a new feature yesterday as well. Of course, DeSoFi is a DeSo app on your smartphone. You can now configure the amount of diamonds you want to send with one press. The way you do this is just go into your settings under preferences and then configure diamonds. So this is a really interesting idea and is a unique idea. Normally when you click on a diamond on DeSoFi, Diamond app, any of the nodes, it's basically going to just give one diamond, but if you hold it and drag down, you can send 2 diamonds, 3 diamonds, 4 diamonds, 5 diamonds, etc. So now what DeSoFi is doing is letting you set a default. So that one click, it won't just give 1 diamond. If you want to, by default, give 2 or 3 diamonds, you can set that as your default. So each click would give 2 or 3 diamonds, 2 diamonds, 3 diamonds, 4 diamonds, how many ever you want. So I love this idea. Great work, Ribal and DeSoFi.
Yeah, I love this because like I typically give 2 to 3 diamonds when I diamond post. I like sometimes 4, especially with the price of DeSo being down. Giving 1 diamond is I think like 1/25th of a cent.
Yeah.
So it's an interesting idea. It's definitely something I'm going to use because it makes me not accidentally click a diamond I don't want, and I know what I'm giving from the start.
Yeah, so yesterday, January Walker, she is a U.S. congressional candidate in Utah's 4th district. Her DeSo username is at Utah Politician. She signed up to DeSo yesterday, and she was verified, and she actually said, Twitter, I've been on Twitter all this time, and they refused to verify my account. She came on DeSo, she got verified. What's interesting about January Walker is that she is not running as a Democrat, not running as a Republican. She's running as a member of the United Utah Party, and she's known as "quote unquote" the blockchain candidate. Uh, I think this is the future of I think you're going to see a lot of politicians go this way as they learn about Web3 and the blockchain. She has some really interesting ideas that utilize the blockchain for government. She said she's super passionate about Web3 and its utility. She believes the blockchain needs to be used more in government, and she has several interesting ideas and takes on how it should be used. One thing is she believes in self-sovereign identity wallets on the blockchain, where you can store items like voter registration. So it's not necessary she wants to utilize a blockchain for crypto within the government, but she wants to utilize blockchain technology for other things. She also believes government spending should be tracked using blockchain
Yeah. Hey,
technology.
hey, wait. I gotta give this a buzzer because I like this idea. That's
So
awesome.
she believes that blockchain spending should be tracked using blockchain technology. And she said this will save $363 billion per year. She's looking at like a lot of fraud that goes on with Medicare and all these other things that, wasteful spending due to fraud and just inefficiencies in government spending. And she believes blockchain can fix all that. She also wants blockchain voting. So imagine you go to the polls, you vote, and your vote is cast on the blockchain. And that vote is public for everybody to see, but it's also verifiable. So there's no more calls of rigged elections or, people cheating in elections. You can see everything on the blockchain. So I love what Utah politician January Walker is doing. I hope she gets more publicity because she deserves it.
Yeah, I think she's just a forward thinker, and she's not choosing a party of Democrats, Republican, left or right. She's just going her own way and embracing technology, kind of like Andrew Yang. That's what I liked about Andrew Yang, is that he was more of a technology of like evangelist, and he loved technology and he wanted to use it, and he saw that technology will lead the way towards a better life for most Americans.
Yeah, we actually had the chance to interview Andrew Yang on our podcast years ago before the election, and he was a phenomenal person as well. I think he's more of a left leaning type
Yeah,
candidate, where January Walker is very moderate. She's pretty much right in the middle, but she's not part of any party. She's running as this third party candidate.
right.
So Mubs yesterday announced that Wallow, his NFT wallet app, has released a new build, and it includes fixes for sales status and video-based NFT display issues. So great work, Mubs. I think this is you're building so much on DeSo. You deserve so much more credit than you get. Keep up the great work.
Yeah, there's just a lot going on with the NFT space on DeSo, and like the market isn't thriving, but it's this quiet period of building. You have Mubs doing Wallow, you have Supernovas doing their DAO and really embracing the DAO now. You've got Licks doing the staking of NFTs. You've got all these great projects. You got NFTZ, which is what we're working on. We're just really excited. I think that once we exit this crypto winter, I think we're going to see a lot of development within the NFT space and a lot of excitement on DeSo.
It would be nice to see Polygram come back, though.
Agreed.
So who were the
So
top people with the most NFT bids in the last 24 hours, Brian?
yeah, so according to NFTZ's data, Ryan Elf was the top bidder, followed by our good friend Meta Philosopher, who's been up there pretty much every day for the last month, followed by Exuse, Spunk Art, Rhubarb, Manic, BitCloud FR, Visual Gulia, Scrutinize, and Kevin Sod. And the top diamond
Wait,
creators
wait.
over the
First,
next
I want to
24
say
hours.
Meta Philosopher is not our good friend. We have no clue who he is. I don't know why Brian said that.
Well, our good friend, because
He
a
seems like a
friend
cool
of D.
person, or she seems like a really cool person and has been doing amazing things for DeSo. But I don't know. Maybe Meta Philosopher doesn't consider us to be their friend. So
Well, so a friend of DeSo and the DeSo NFT space is a friend of mine, regardless of whether Meta Philosopher likes us or not.
I mean, we
So
did put our Clout Punk up for auction, and he never bid on it. So
it was like 3,000 DeSo or something, right?
yeah, something like that.
All right. So top diamond creators over the last 24 hours, according to Alton Base, Krasenstein, followed by Spunk Art, James Barrett, Utah politician who we spoke about. Definitely check her out. It's January Walker, followed by Michelle Lord, William Laurent, Mysterious Lady, The Social World, Gabby, and Mini Clout.
Congratulations. Keep up the good work. And everybody have a great weekend. We'll talk to you tomorrow.